Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
And welcome everyone to the Week 11 edition of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. I am your host, Justin, too many men in the huddle, Williams. And with me as always, my good friend Matt Renshaw. Matt, how are you today?
Is it too many men in the huddle or too many men on the field?
In the huddle. That's a thing.
Offense? That's the offensive one.
Look it up.
Defensive one is 12 men on the field.
Right.
Not 12 men in your huddle.
I said too many men in the huddle.
I know. I know what you said.
Okay, so
I said 12 men in your huddle.
You're talking to yourself. That's what you're doing.
I'm talking to myself telling you there's 12 men in your huddle?
I know the rule. That's why I said it, Matt. I know we just kicked off this podcast.
Perfect.
My God.
That's my goal each week. Throw you off early.
Anyway, I'm Justin. That's Matt. Sorry. Week 11 is here. We're both 30 now, which is depressing.
That's not depressing. You are like you're the crotchety old man at 30.
I'm still depressed about it.
Why? Dude,
30,
what changed?
30 for 30.
30, flirty, and thriving.
Yikes.
Come on, man.
So, a lot happened.
What are you going to do when you turn 40?
If I make it, I might slip on some ice, break a hip, and die. That stuff kills people my age.
It does. It kills people 65 and older.
Yeah, well,
You literally could live twice as long as you're living now and still not be that age.
I don't know, Matt. I don't know. Memory is going out,
You're crotchety.
We are the Dynasty Dads, by the way.
Oh, great.
We're all over Twitter. We're at the Dynasty Dads over there. If you like any part of this podcast whatsoever, and I'm not sure if you would, go ahead and check us out on iTunes. Leave us a nice review. 5 stars only, please.
No worries.
Yeah.
I'll take a 4-star.
4 stars, fine. Some days a 3-star works.
Yeah.
It's whatever. We're also on Facebook at Dynasty Dads. You can find us just about anywhere. You can type in www.something. Matt, let's just get it out of the way. You got any family stories? Anything happened this week?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I have a new gig.
Hey.
I am an assistant bowling coach.
Wow.
Yes.
This is awesome.
It's,
Steve Reich.
It's the only sport that I can think of that you can eat like fried food and coach at the exact same time. Like, it's almost encouraged.
Yeah.
During practice is happy hour, and they have half-price apps at the concession stand at the bowling alley. So the head coach usually provides his assistant coach and himself with some mini tacos and nacho cheese. Oh, it's so good. As far as kids,
got any gutter balls? Huh?
I don't actually bowl. I just teach.
Are any of those kids, gutter balls? Huh? Are they any gutter balls?
That's a strike. That's a terrible joke.
It is.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just being a turkey.
We're going to have to throw out the hook.
Well, it's kind of funny because, I'm usually a kingpin.
That's not even a bowling term.
Sure it is. It says here on
Did you Google bowling?
Kingpin
terms?
refers to either the head pin or 5-pin, depending on local usage.
Wow. Do you know that there's different oil patterns?
Nope. Don't
Different
care.
oil patterns, different approaches. You can bowl with 2 hands, 2-handed bowlers?
Wow.
Yeah. That's like a thing.
I'm learning way more about bowling than I really wanted to.
Well, that's because you're not, you just don't want to be well-rounded.
I suppose so.
Yeah. So doing that, I get home about an hour later than normal, but just come home, play with the kids. Love it. My wife has been starting to get my youngest into potty training. So my oldest has actually been helping. Today I got a text message from my wife. The oldest kicked mom out of the bathroom because my oldest was going to help my youngest learn how to go potty. So
that's scary.
Yeah, we get asked every time we go out, are they twins? Because they're so close in size, and I mean, it's just like
I could see that.
It makes sense, but so they're real close. I'm glad that I had 2 girls really close together. I'm glad that they're friends and they don't hate each other.
Nice,
right?
nice.
Yeah. You?
The wife threw me a surprise birthday party.
Yeah, so I was there.
Yep, you were there.
Yeah, surprise.
Shit, good. Family, friends, taco stuff. My
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then, of course, after you were at my house, a couple days later, my beautiful angel comes down with a cold.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely my kids. It couldn't be any of the other 6 kids that were at your house.
Nope. We've talked about this
Yeah.
before. It's just that filth.
It could not have been your nephew.
That Renshaw filth.
Or any of the other, or Robinson's kids.
Travels over and just infects my princess.
Mm-hmm.
And
You know, Corey was coughing.
how dare you?
I think it was
How
it was Corey.
Dare you blame somebody else for
Just
my
telling you,
daughter's
definitely
illness?
was not my kids.
Yeah, she was up until 2 o'clock in the morning last night. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wanted daddy. So
Weird. Why?
I think it's because I'm fluffier than like my wife is.
But
So
you're scratchier too.
I don't know. She digs it, man. She likes just rocking with me.
A beard just gets in the way.
Yeah, she'll usually pull the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great show. Bowling and beards.
In the morning. All right, you want to just jump to the news and notes?
Yeah, you're gonna kill me.
Okay. Yeah, well, I wonder how you're sick.
Oh.
Been sick for a while?
I got sick actually after I went to your filthy
Been
house.
Sick for a few days, huh?
No.
Yeah, come
I
down
went
with
to your
something?
house and got sick. I mean, that filth and all of it.
Yeah, turn around.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it was Corey.
Week 11 is here. The Week 11 buys are the Bills, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Jets, the 49ers. Big bye week.
I want to throw out this. Who in what idiot planned that the entire AFC East was going to have the same bye?
I was thinking the same thing. I seen that and I was like, either that's really dumb, and the only reason it's dumb though is because they don't do that for other divisions.
No.
It's like you should just do that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a perfect idea. It's like then that whole division is kind of on an even keel.
Right.
At least.
I'm in a league where we picked teams based off divisions. So I have the AFC East. So I have no players this week because they're all on a bye.
Yep.
So I'm guaranteed to lose.
Yeah.
And the AFC, I don't know if you know this. We kind of did this last year, but the AFC East is the least talented division in football. In terms of fantasy.
Yeah, I could see that. Like just having to think about it off the top of my head, I could see it being pretty thin.
Your quarterback every week's Brady.
Yeah.
Your wide receivers are New England wide receivers.
Well, especially with Jarvis Landry leaving the Dolphins
Right.
too. And I'm not being funny. It's just like that's probably the best wide receiver there, I'd imagine.
Your
I don't
tight
know.
end. Last week I had to start Mike Gesicki at tight end because no Gronk,
Yeah.
no Clay,
Yeah.
Herndon maybe, but it's ugly. There's not a lot of talent in the AFC East.
Speaking of ugly, no Bell for 2018.
Yeah.
He didn't report today, and he is officially ineligible for the rest of the season. No Le'Veon Bell is a guaranteed lock at this point for the fantasy playoffs, the NFL season,
None of
whatever you want to talk about.
Dude was average. His average ADP in startups and redraft was 2.5. Top 3 pick.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking round 2 point.
No.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no.
Either the
top
second
3
pick or the third pick.
top 3 pick everywhere that I drafted, I do believe, unless it was kind of a funky, super flex or
Right,
something like
right.
that. But yeah, Le'Veon Bell just being out for the entire year was something that we knew was a possibility, but
Right.
no one believed.
No one thought it was going to happen.
No one believed.
And
it.
he left. So it's weird that he left Miami to go to Pittsburgh. He's in Pittsburgh playing pickup basketball games at a gym in Pittsburgh, but didn't report to sign his $7 million contract for the rest of the year.
Hey, I mean, at this point, it doesn't make sense to sign, if you ask me. I thought it was just fine.
Shut up.
It doesn't make sense. You held out this long.
Yeah, you know what they can do next year? They can tag you again, and you're going to sit again?
I think part of it was he's looking at how the success that they're having and that James Conner is having and all that other stuff, and just like, whatever, Like he's just gonna be a bigger bad guy if he comes back
How so?
because he's gonna be squashing James Conner. That O-line isn't gonna. They've already stated they don't like him. The coach doesn't seem to be very happy with him at all.
Great, then go in, get injured, quote unquote, and don't play and get paid.
Oh, jeez. Stop it.
If you're going to be a bad guy, you might as well go big bad guy and get paid for it.
Nah.
Now what? Plus, is he going to get a ring if they win the Super Bowl?
I don't think he was doing it to be a bad guy. I think the only reason he's not coming back was to avoid being, like, just completely ostracized.
Oh, so you think all of a sudden he cares what people think about him?
I don't know if I'd go that far. I think he cares a little bit about what those people in Pittsburgh think about him. Yeah, a little bit. There comes a balance.
If that were the case, he would be back.
No,
like if he cared what they thought, he would have come back.
The dude knows what he's worth, and especially
I'm not disagreeing with what he's doing.
For what he's done the last couple of years and hasn't held out to this extent. I get what he did. I really get what he's doing. I get what he did, and I think that he's going to make a team very, very happy this offseason.
You think he's going to get paid what he wants to get paid?
Yeah.
You think there's a chance that Le'Veon Bell doesn't play another snap in the NFL?
0.00. You can't tell me there's not a team out there that would
is going to give him
him
$15 million a year?
Yes.
I will take that bet.
100%. Somebody's going to do it. Why wouldn't they? He's proven that time over time again that he's worth that amount. He is worth it.
He proved that this year?
You
mean that James Conner guy that was a 4th-round pick didn't prove that you don't need to invest $15, $16 million in a running back?
James Conner is nice. He's not Le'Veon Bell. Nobody else in that league is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is an elite talent. He's been an elite talent since Michigan State. He's a very, very good running back.
I'm not arguing that. He's not worth $16 million.
This is coming from a guy that is...
You are
running
correct.
backs are a dime a dozen. But there's going to be a team out there that is desperate enough for a big-name, playmaking, jersey-selling guy like Le'Veon Bell. Somebody's going to do it, and somebody's going to pay that money because they're going to make that money back. Easy.
If that were the case, why didn't Pittsburgh do it?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not
okay, because you don't need to do it. You
Somebody's
can get a cheap running back.
What are the odds to you that he doesn't play somewhere ever again?
The dude didn't come back for...
No. I'm not
jumping around. I'm going to answer the question. He didn't come back for the money that he was going to get this year because they didn't offer him enough an average salary and enough guaranteed money. I don't think any team out there is going to offer him more. I don't think anyone's going to give him $16 million a year guaranteed for 4 years.
Okay. What's the odds?
Odds what? That he doesn't? Obviously,
doesn't
I should get there. I didn't say...
That was your question.
My question... Yeah, I don't think it's 0.0%.
What is it?
5.
Oh, jeez. Come on. So it's not 0.0, but you can say 5.
Yeah, I can say 5.
So 0.0 is terrible, but 5 is okay.
I didn't say... Yeah, 0.0, because I think there's a chance that he could go, I don't need this. I'm going to be a rapper. I can spit bars.
No. Football makes the rap career for him.
He's already had the...
Football makes
he's already
that
played
rap money.
football.
He's not done playing football.
I'm not saying he is done. Oh, whatever. I'm not saying he's done. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if he said, I don't need this money. I'm out.
Without looking, I'm fairly confident. I'd say it's a pretty safe bet that he's going to sign somewhere, one of those 31 other NFL teams, and he's going to be the highest paid running back that season, 2019 season.
Yeah, but he's not going to get the money that he wanted from Pittsburgh.
You don't know what he really wanted.
He has an ego the size of Texas.
Well, when you're that good, you should.
James Conner is what?
James Conner don't have a choice, Matt. James Conner's a second year guy.
You're right.
He don't have a choice.
And he's putting up better numbers than Le'Veon Bell ever did in his career.
Good. And then in 2 years, when James Conner comes to the table with his agent, he can ask for Le'Veon Bell money. Until then, it doesn't matter. All you can do is play well.
Pittsburgh has said they're not going to pay anybody that.
Fine.
No NFL team is going to pay that.
It has nothing to do with anything right now. I don't know what your argument is, that he's not going to get paid in 2019.
He's not going to get paid the money that he thinks he's worth.
So what? You don't know what he thinks he's worth. A lot of that stuff
I know he thinks he's worth more than $14 million a year. He's not. I don't care what running back you are. You're not worth that.
To look at his numbers and say he's not worth that is crazy.
Look at the production they're getting out of a guy they got in the 4th round.
I don't mind them not paying him that money. I get it. But you can't tell me that not one of the 31 other teams is going to say that. Somebody's going to say, okay, we agree. Yeah, we'll pay you. Come prove it. We'll pay you that. The Steelers won't. The Steelers are a very smartly run franchise. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're making a bad choice. I'm just saying one of those 31 other teams is going to be desperate enough for a big name like that, a playmaker like that, and they're going to say, sure.
Like who?
Would it shock you if the Jets did that?
Okay, because the team that is jumping out to me is the Jets.
Would it shock you if the Bucks did that? Would it shock you if the Raiders offered that to him?
Do the Raiders have? I don't know cap situations.
I don't know either. But would that shock you? We just named top of the head. We just named 3 teams that would at least have. It makes sense for them to go get a huge name like Le'Veon Bell, right? Right.
I'm trying to think of team. The Jets need one. Yes.
The Raiders definitely do.
The Bucs just drafted Jones. You're a big Jones fan, no?
And look what they've done with Jones.
I know. You're the Jones fan between the two of us.
Yeah.
The Raiders. I don't know what the Raiders are doing. It makes sense because the Raiders don't know what they're doing.
Somebody's gonna pay him, man. And
I think he gets paid. I don't.
The problem with this is like somebody's gonna pay him. You're gonna be doing this all offseason about how they overpaid and they shouldn't have paid him and this and that and this and that. And then like he's not gonna have some electric year, and you're just gonna be like, oh, it's so right.
That's why you don't pay guys for what they've done. That's why the Steelers don't pay guys for what they've done.
But that's not how this works. That's not how the market works with the NFL. You got to pay these guys what they've done.
I'm gonna go to a Pittsburgh guy that produced in Pittsburgh, didn't get a contract, left, went somewhere else, and didn't. Plexico Burress, right? Was the number 1 wide receiver in Pittsburgh. They're like, yeah, we're not going to pay you. Went to New York. What did he do?
They're very different. They're very different.
Okay.
Plexico Burress. There was no point in Plexico Burress's career where everyone would agree that he was a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL.
Okay.
There have been multiple seasons where people would agree Le'Veon Bell is a top 3 talent in the NFL.
Yes, but you don't pay running back. No one pays running backs. Literally no one.
Well, Le'Veon Bell's more than a running back.
Saquon Barkley is a top 5 paid running back, and he's a rookie on a rookie deal. That tells you how little running backs are valued in this league.
What? Wait, what?
Barkley's salary.
Yeah. Top 5, get it.
Top 5, okay. Running backs aren't. A rookie is getting paid top 5 money?
That has nothing to do with this. That's just the bargaining agreement. That's just what they're set at for that pick.
For that pick, right. So, what don't you get?
That has nothing to do with Le'Veon Bell and his contract and pays for running backs and all this other.
Right.
BS
What I'm saying is no one's getting paid. No running back is getting paid that. Barkley never touched the ball, was already being paid as a top 5 guy.
Le'Veon Bell's going to get that money. Le'Veon Bell's going to get that money.
What money? Top 5 money? The 5th place money?
Le'Veon Bell's going to
double
get
that.
just about whatever he wants.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's not going to get whatever he wants.
You're crazy. Have you watched Le'Veon Bell play?
I own Le'Veon Bell literally 90% of the leagues I'm in.
I'll bet my firstborn on it that 2019 Le'Veon Bell plays somewhere week 1. He's going to be signed by late summer. Worse. Like he's going to get paid a lot of money.
Do you think he's going to get more than $15 million a year? That's my number.
Tell me whatever the top paid running back is for 2019. Le'Veon Bell gets paid at minimum $1 more than that guy.
So you think Bell's the top paid running back?
He's the top paid running back in 2019.
Okay, so Gurley, I think, just signed a huge contract. Let's see what we got here. Gurley just signed his extension.
Way too much time on this.
No. It's fun arguing with you and knowing I'm right.
You haven't made a statement that you've even really
running backs don't get paid. Todd Gurley makes $15 million a year. You think he gets paid more than Todd Gurley?
Yes.
Okay. I don't.
Yep.
Okay.
Easily.
He's already the 2nd highest paid running back, but obviously not this year. He was slated to be $14.5 million. Third.
Is that where you're standing? Is that the point you're trying to make? Is that he's just not going to get paid that money?
Yes,
that's where you're at.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
So you think that he's going to either just not come back because it's not worth it for his self-worth?
Yep.
Or he's going to come back for less than running back 1 in the NFL money. That's where you're at.
I don't think any team is going to offer him that. Yeah, I don't think any team's going to offer him more than $15 million, and I wouldn't be surprised if he said, "I'm out," because he did that this year.
Okay.
The next got his extension. He was slated to make $14.5 million, which was $6 million more than the next highest guy.
Okay.
LaShawn McCoy is the 4th highest paid running back.
If he walks away completely over money,
like he did this year,
it'll be more of a blunder than Barry Sanders, by far.
Was Barry Sanders a blunder?
I think so. Barry Sanders left at the top.
And people argue he was he's the best running back in the history of the NFL.
Barry Sanders is one of the most athletic running backs.
Who's the best?
The most elusive. it would take me some time to actually like break it down and figure out who the best one is. As far as like elusiveness goes, breaking tackles, Barry Sanders is absolutely there. Yep, 100%. I guarantee.
And he walked early, and
he walked on top. Yep.
Yeah.
But it was more of a health thing. If Le'Veon Bell walks and it's over money, like, I don't get it. He would just be pissing away his entire legacy
because of money this year.
That's different. He held out over money. You're telling me he walks away from the entire career over money?
He walked
I just don't
away
see it
from
happening.
the entire season because of money.
Yeah, to make a statement
that no one cares about.
That's not true. It's been in the news every week.
Okay, what I mean is, do you see other teams trying to trade for him to give him the money that he wants?
You don't know if they are or not. And even if, why would you? Why would you make that offer now?
Why would you make what offer?
You
now?
know he's going to be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent.
Right. I didn't say offer him a first-round pick. If you offer...
Why would the Steelers trade anything Why would the Steelers trade him? It doesn't make sense. Why would the Steelers trade him? They'd rather nobody have him and let him walk.
They can get something for a guy that is going to walk.
But who's going to give them something when they know he's going to walk?
I don't think the Jets, the Raiders, the Buccaneers could give him a fifth-round pick, fourth-round pick.
Or they can wait until it's time to actually make a bid and bid.
You're right. I'm not... You don't understand what I'm saying, I guess. I'm not saying that they can't do that, but if week 3, when the Bucs were 2-0 and Ryan Fitzpatrick was leading the charge, and they knew that their running backs sucked, if they were really super-duper excited to give a guy $14.5 million, they could have went to Pittsburgh and said, hey, we'll give you a 4, and we'll pay him. And no one did that. No one came after him.
I don't really see the reason to do it. That's just me.
Like Philly needs a running back. They lost to Jai. They're like, nah, we don't want to pay him. No one's going to pay him. I don't think he makes more than Gurley next year. And I think he could walk away because of it.
Okay.
Wow.
Yikes.
That was fun. We need to do that more often.
Made no sense. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that Cooper Kupp tore his ACL Week 10 against the Seahawks. Now, with Kupp done for the season, the Rams should turn to Josh Reynolds as their number 3 receiver.
Yeah.
Reynolds caught, 4 passes, 61 yards, 2 scores
touchdowns.
without Kupp in the lineup earlier this season.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp has only been in the league for 2 years now, racked up 40 catches, over 560 yards, and 6 touchdowns this season. There is a big gap there with Cooper Kupp gone.
Putting that cup on the shelf.
So, my cup is empty. What do you think about Reynolds rest of the way? You in? You out?
I like him. I don't think he's wide receiver 2 worthy, wide receiver 3 worthy. No.
No, I don't really know. I think it's a wait and see thing. I think he's a great flex play when you need a wide receiver.
If you need him, yeah.
If you're desperate, I think he should be owned everywhere.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of a 1-year guy. So I mean, if you have Reynolds and you don't really need that wide receiver,
Right.
I'd say you could totally trade him for something.
Yeah. You don't know what they're going to do. I mean, he scored 2 touchdowns without Kupp in the lineup, so you know he's at least got some appeal to the Rams, but I just don't see him being relevant in most leagues.
If I told you that 2 wide receivers were in the top 10 in PPR leagues that are from the Rams, who would you think those wide receivers would be?
Brandon Cooks.
That's one.
And Cooper Kupp, but I'm guessing I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's Woods.
Robert Woods is above Cooks and Kupp.
Okay.
I just think I wouldn't have guessed it.
So where's Kupp? They have 3 in the top 15?
Kupp is currently 18.
So 3 in the top 20.
Yeah, missed a couple games there, I think.
Wow.
So Robert Woods has 167, Cooks has 164, and then Kupp was at 135 before he went down.
Wow.
Yeah. Robert Woods has actually had double digits for the past, actually every week except for week 1.
No.
Isn't that amazing?
Good for him.
Did you know that?
I did not.
I had no clue.
Under the radar.
Very quiet.
He's hidden in the woods.
Let's see. Poor Dez Bryant.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I want you to know that people have reached out to me and made fun of you because of your take.
On what?
On Dez. I have gotten multiple messages from people that have said, just when your co-host was going to get a chance to get those 10 touchdowns out of Dez,
Yeah.
tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
And I
that's
just
rough.
laughed.
On his second practice as a Saint, Dez Bryant tore his Achilles. He's out. And, of course, the guy that I said you were safe to drop,
Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall's in, which just remarkable. I still stand by you being able to cut Brandon Marshall, though. I really do. What's your opinion as Brandon Marshall, or of Brandon Marshall as a Saint?
I think he's a big body goal line guy. Jimmy Graham-ish.
But he couldn't be that for the Seahawks.
No, because they weren't asking him to do that. They were asking him to be wide receiver 2. I think the Saints are going to ask him to be a red zone threat.
Yeah.
With a better quarterback that has a better offense.
So what's Brandon Marshall's ceiling on a fantasy roster?
Ceiling?
Yeah.
Flex.
Yeah, I think if that's your ceiling. I mean, I get picking him up for free. I wouldn't make a move for Brandon Marshall, would you?
No, I would not. Especially, I mean, if you're a contender and someone wants a third for him, maybe. But if you're a contender, it means you've got a good team, so you probably don't need him.
Yeah, if you're one of those lower-end teams that actually has Brandon Marshall on your roster for some reason, I'm trading him to a contender for a third. Easy.
Yeah.
Just take what you can get.
Right.
So let's talk about Dez Bryant then.
This is, when he did it, when I saw it, I in one of our group chats that you were in, I said, I think that's a career. I think he's it. I think he's done. Tore his Achilles. There were very few positive examples of people coming back from this. One that jumped out to me was Crabtree. Crabtree did it, came back in Oakland, had a pretty good year the next year. Maybe, but the problem with Dez couldn't get anybody that was super interested in him when he was healthy. Now he's another year older, coming off an Achilles injury.
He is currently 30 years old. He's going to just turned 30.
Right. Happy birthday, Dez.
Yeah, the 4th of November. 2 days before I was born, actually.
Same year?
Yeah, 88.
You think he's throwing a pissy fit because he's 30?
You look what happened to him. He goes to practice. He goes to the second practice in a long time, tore his Achilles, just like that. Bam, because he's 30. Just turned 30.
Tom Brady's 40, and he's tearing it up. Drew Brees is 39. He's probably going to win the MVP.
So I agree with you on this being a career. I don't see him coming back from this, but if he does, it could be a remarkable comeback story.
He's going to score 20 touchdowns next year?
No, I just see, like, the thing I agree with you the most on is even before, like, his last time in Dallas, his last couple of years weren't that good.
No.
We were all kind of, or at least I was, hoping for him to return to just being that red zone guy that at least gets the catches. Because his last 3 years in Dallas, here's his catches. 2017, 69, 2016, 50, and 2015 he was injured. He had 31 catches.
To be fair.
But he was getting touchdowns.
Yeah. And I want to say that two of those years with the new quarterback, his best year was with Romo.
2014 was easily, in my opinion, his best year. 16 touchdowns, 1,300 yards, 88 grabs. See, that was off of 3 years. That was his third of 3 years where he had over 90 catches, 1,200-yard minimum, and about 12, 13, and 16 catches for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Insane numbers.
All right, I got one for you. Here's my comp. And I threw this out. I feel like I threw this out before, and you told me I was nuts. I feel like his career path, trajectory, whatever you want to call it, is very similar to Dwayne Bowe. Dwayne Bowe had a big year. 2010, he had 15 touchdowns.
Well, I just said
72 receptions.
Dez Bryant had 3 great years.
Yeah.
Excellent years.
Remember when Dwayne Bowe was like...
I'm looking Dwayne Bowe
over the
right
Dwayne
now.
Bowe, all those fantasy team names?
Dwayne Bowe, no, it's not the same. Dwayne Bowe's best year
15 touchdowns.
was a complete... Like, he never did anything near that.
Yes, he did.
Before or after. Okay, 15 touchdowns. His second best touchdown career year was 2008. 2 years prior to that for 7.
Yeah, but if he wasn't a big touchdown guy.
Nope.
But he was a big reception guy. He had 3 years with over 1,000 yards.
1,022, 1,162, 1,150.
So 2010, 2011 had 1,100 yards, between 11 and 1,200 yards. Used that, did well, got hurt a couple years. I mean, he didn't play 16 games. Then went to Cleveland and sucked and just gone. Like, I feel like this could be similar to Dez. A couple big years, went back to mediocrity, went into somebody new, done.
I see, like,
They're different players.
I see the tail end of it being the same. I get where you're coming from there. I just don't think Dwayne Bowe was as top
Dominant. Yeah.
as dominant for as long as he had one very, very good year. The rest of them were all good, but nothing extremely great like Dez Bryant was for 3 seasons in a row.
Yes, Dez was a top 3 wide receiver.
But if you look at the end of Dwayne Bowe's career and you look at where Dez Bryant is, right, I agree with you there.
Okay.
I could see that being similar. Speaking of being cut, the Bills waive Nate Peterman.
I saw some very funny Peterman stats. Go ahead. I'll let you do your thing and then.
171st pick in the last year's draft. 24-year-old made 8 appearances in 1.5 seasons with the Bills. Started 4 games, going 1-3 with a historically bad 3-12 touchdown to interception mark. And he threw an interception on 9.2% of his passes. Also, the Bills cut Terrell Pryor, which is just as surprising.
2 weeks.
Yep. Terrell Pryor has to be done.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's the last time you're going to see him in the news for a while.
Yeah. I saw something on Peterman, which was funny. They said Peterman could have taken 36 NFL snaps and spiked the ball every single time.
Yeah.
And had a better QBR than he had he played when he played.
QBR is garbage. It's a garbage stat.
I agree.
I know, but I'm just saying.
He had a game where he threw 3 interceptions, and his career QBR went up. That's bad.
That's what lets me know that stat is garbage. It shouldn't be even recorded.
I think it's ESPN, something ESPN made up.
Let's move on.
You think? Wait. Let me.
Okay.
Let's looking ahead. We're football fans. Does Peterman end up in the XFL?
Oh, I'm not even considering XFL stuff right now.
How funny would it be if Peterman's jersey was Pick 6? No? That's his nickname. No?
Is the XFL in 2 more years?
2020.
2020, okay.
It's coming. I'm excited.
I just want to see it compete. I just think by that time we're going to be kind of past the whole no fun league and the NFL is this and that. I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers could throw 1,240 consecutive interceptions without a touchdown and still have a better touchdown to interception ratio than Nathan Peterman.
That's a fun stat. That's a fun one. So Frank Gore rushed 13 times for 90 yards, adding 2 catches for 12 yards in the Dolphins' Week 10 loss to the Packers. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Gore topped 500 yards rushing for a 14th straight season.
Yep.
Putting him atop the record books as the only player to ever do that. Kenyon Drake, who's kind of dealing with a shoulder, was forced to exit for a brief stint in the second quarter, but Gore had outtouched him 10-4 to that point anyhow. Gore has outtouched Drake, get this, 36-17 over the last 2 games. Old man Gore just keeps on rolling.
Yeah. I saw
Unbelievable.
doctors think that the person that is going to live to be 150 has already been born. It's Frank Gore. He's going to be playing in the NFL till he's 100.
I just think that stat's amazing. 500 yards every year for 14 straight seasons.
Isn't he like top 5 all time yardage? Top 10? I know he's top 10.
He's up there. It's unbelievable. And this just goes to show you in those startup drafts or in those dynasty leagues, when you have some of those older running backs or they fall to you, don't be afraid.
No,
don't be afraid.
He's good. He's consistent. He's been around for a long, long time. Yeah, I mean, if you could get him for a third and you're a contender, do it.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't make sense not to.
Do it.
Let's see. Happy trails to C.J. Anderson. CJA signed a 1-year, $1.75 million deal with the Panthers in May, but failed to carve a true role out for himself behind Christian McCaffrey. Anderson tallied 24 carries for a smidge over 100 yards and caught a touchdown with Carolina. Only 27 years old, believe it or not, was a 1,000-yard rusher in Denver just last season.
Yeah.
There's rumors, actually, that C.J. Anderson asked to be released.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a team that needs a running back.
Yeah?
I think Eagles make sense.
The Eagles make perfect sense.
Don't they?
And we're going to talk about the Eagles in a second.
Sorry.
In related news, Christian McCaffrey continues to develop pretty nicely with a career high in rushing yards, touchdowns, and average yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
Reminder, this is week 11.
Yeah.
So he's already outdone his rookie campaign.
Yep.
Eagles coach Doug Peterson confirmed that Josh Adams will get more carries going forward. Adams has averaged 6.25 yards per carry over the last 3 games, but he only has 20 attempts over that span, including just 7 against the Cowboys on Sunday night. The numbers aren't electric, but Adams should be owned in every league, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know how many leagues he's owned in MFL?
Nope.
41% of leagues.
Oh boy, what a tease! What a tease! Where are you on Adams then?
Dude, give me Adams.
Okay.
We've seen what an electric running back can do in that offense. Jay Ajayi came in last year, tore it up, did well. Obviously, Sproles is hurt and done. I mean, I would assume he's done. So yeah, I like Adams. He looks better than the other two, Clement and Smallwood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of those other two is going to continue to have value. I don't know which one, but I think Adams has the most value and the most value going forward rest of season.
You sound really high on Adams.
I am.
Let's play a game.
All right. I love games.
Adams or Buck Allen?
Adams.
Rest of the way.
Especially with Montgomery. Yeah.
Okay. You think Montgomery's going to cut into Allen quite a bit?
Absolutely.
Let's see. We got Adams or Eckler. Austin Eckler.
Adams.
Wow.
You like Eckler?
I'm just
Just give me the choices? Okay.
I don't know. That's strong. Hines or Adams?
Adams.
Wow, this is going way different than I thought it was going to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, man, I got to make this tougher. Latavius Murray or Josh Adams?
I still take Adams because Cook's coming back.
Crowell or Adams? Rest of the way.
Adams because he's in a better offense.
Wow. Okay, I guess I got to ramp this up a little bit. Okay. Adrian Peterson or Adams, rest of the way. Peterson had the trouble with the O-line now. That's decimated.
Yeah. And Chris Thompson, I think from a usage standpoint, I'd probably go AP. But I like Adams. I wouldn't be surprised if Adams outproduced him.
TJ Yeldon. Really
I like Yeldon.
Claustrophobic
I like Yeldon.
backfield. Okay. So
Yeldon catches passes. You know my guy.
So once I broke into the top 15, that's when you kind of trailed off a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, you don't, I mean, do you disagree?
For a guy that only got, so many carries.
Dude looks electric. He looks like Mostert did when he was in.
Before he hit the
his arm snapped in half. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Adams? I mean, you watched some games.
Of course I do. I like Adams. I don't know if I'm that strong with it. I really don't know. I think he's worth adding.
Adams or Crow?
Give me Crow. And that hurts.
Adams or AP?
Rest of the way, I think I'd rather have AP.
Yeah, usage makes. I mean, what were some of the other ones you gave me that it was easy for me to pick?
The Buck Allen one I thought was different. I think I'd rather have Eckler the rest of the way.
Okay.
Because if Gordon goes down, Eckler's proven that he could be really good.
Yeah.
The Hines one I completely agree with. I have no problem with that. I mean, I feel like they're really similar, though. That's kind of where I would rank him.
Okay, here's one. Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Or Adams.
Oh, we're going to talk all about the Seahawks in a second.
Okay.
Give me Adams, though, if that's the question.
All right. Penny? Mike Adams?
Talking about Rashard Penny's breakout performance on Sunday, Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said he just looks like the guy we thought he would look like when we drafted him.
He was.
Penny exploded for 108 yards and a touchdown on just 12 carries against the Rams after amassing 146 yards on the first 42 carries of his career. Today he busted out, Carroll said. I thought today he needed it so badly. He knows he's a great player. He just hasn't been able to demonstrate it. Penny had been firmly behind both Chris Carson and Mike Davis on the depth chart. Welp, good luck figuring out which Seahawk to start from here on out.
Shut up, Pete.
Unbelievable.
I hate Pete Carroll.
What do you do? They're all playing, by the way. They're all healthy at this point.
What do you mean, what do you do?
If you have all three, let's say you're in that situation.
Trade them.
You got to start one. It's Chris Carson still, isn't it? Or are you going Penny already?
I was high on Penny coming out.
What?
I was.
No, you were not.
I was.
Wait, I remember you hated Rashad Penny.
You asked me rest of season who I wanted, and I would say Penny. Like week 3.
Yeah, but when don't say when he came out. Because we were talking about how overrated and overinflated his value was.
Yes.
Crazy high.
But he looks like who they said they drafted.
One game.
Mostert had one game.
I know. I'm just saying, we've seen Penny not look good, and then he has one good game, and then we're all like, whoa, it must be Penny.
Yeah, I don't want anybody in Seattle's backfield.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'd like to get one of those three, because I think you could. It's a lottery pick. I think there's a chance that one of these guys could be, very viable in fantasy, no matter which week you start them. You just don't know which one. You have to be desperate.
So you think that's New England's backfield?
I think it's absolutely
That's
New
what you
England's
think.
backfield.
Okay.
I think you don't know who you have and what you got every week. You could start one of those guys and they could get 6 carries for 30 yards tops. You're hoping for a touchdown. You're hoping you got that one guy that's going to score. Because they can't. It's one of the best running offenses in the league right now, stat wise. But you can't.
You don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah, they can't carry 3 running backs and make 3 running backs fantasy viable.
When's Procise going to pop back up?
That's my
or
thing
McKissick.
Too. I have Procise in deeper leagues still.
Yeah.
I'm holding on because it's like, dude, one of these guys goes down and Procise is that Mike Davis or Procise is that Chris Carson. You don't know.
Or that Rashad Penny.
I'm really interested to see what happens with Penny's stock this offseason.
You giggled at your own joke.
This offseason, that's going to be interesting. Because he's going to be the top, and rightfully so. He should be the top Seattle running back drafted.
Yeah, drafted in the first round.
Yeah. Whoa. No, I mean, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they drafted
Right.
Penny in
I
the
get what
first
you're
round. Yeah.
So where are you on Penny then?
I'm not high. Like,
I'm super high right now.
you're super high on Penny?
No,
Oh.
not on Penny.
Mike Adams or Rashard Penny? I'm taking Penny.
Mike Davis, you mean?
No, Mike. Adam. You did this with Adams in Philly.
Josh Adams?
Josh Adams, sorry. Josh Adams. I'm taking Penny.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, the value of Rashad Penny is so much higher.
Yeah.
Trade wise. Yeah. Okay. So well, let's play this game.
Yeah, here we go.
So let's ask you, Josh Adams or Mike Davis?
Josh Adams or Mike Davis?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Adams.
Josh Adams or Chris Carson?
Josh Adams.
Josh Adams or Rashard Penny?
Penny.
Okay, I was gonna say. I still think Carson over Adams.
Huh. I just don't want to be the one gambling, like on Seattle's backfield.
You are gambling. You're gambling on Philly's
I will
backfield.
gamble on Philly's backfield because I can't. You want me to tease this?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, I don't. I really don't.
I'm big on Adams.
I got one last story.
All right.
Stephon Diggs
Okay.
had a bit of a rib issue.
Rib.
He told the NFL Network's Ian Rappaport that he participated in Monday's practice, and this is a quote. I know I will play, Diggs said on Rap Sheet's podcast. After sitting out week 9, coming off a bye week, Diggs has now had 2 weeks to heal up and plays the Bears on Sunday night. Matt, I have one question for you. Can you dig it? Sucker!
You just said you didn't put Diggs. Can you Diggs it?
Dig it.
You-
Digs it. Whatever.
I like Diggs.
Oh, you should.
Yeah. Start him. Fire him up. Cool.
Against the Bears, is he a top 10 wide receiver for you? The answer is yes.
I was gonna say that's hard to argue because he's been performing as a top 10 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So-
So the answer is yes. I just didn't know if you were a little worried because you haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
Oh no, not at all.
Especially coming off a bye. They're going to get him involved.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Matt, that's all I got for news.
I got one more.
Oh.
It's not news. It's kind of a question poll. Get your take on this. I have very strong feelings one way, but I always like to get your opinion and laugh. So, tight ends. We don't talk about tight ends a lot. I'm a big proponent of don't draft tight ends early. Always get the guy late. You can pick someone off waivers. George Kittle had another big week.
Yeah, he did.
Where is George Kittle's dynasty value amongst tight ends? I have a very strong opinion, but I'm curious yours.
I think the tight end position right now, going into next season, looks like doo-doo. I think that you and I have had a discussion where if you're in a league where you think that that's all you kind of need is the tight end position, that you can totally take that Iowa tight end, Fant.
Yep.
And at 101, actually,
Yep.
you would need to have a very strong team for that situation. So please don't send your hate mail at Dynasty Dads.
Right.
But that's how bad
The tight end position is.
the tight end position is right now. There's so many guys that are doing mediocre.
Who do you want? Like, who are your top tight ends?
Well, Ertz and Kelsey are
1-2.
Or 1-2, I think, and that there's no argument about it.
Where's Gronk? Gronk has been top 3 for years.
For me, it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the season Gronk retires.
Same.
Gronk has teased retiring the past 2 seasons.
Gronk said he was going to retire if they traded him to Detroit.
Yeah, I don't. Gronk's not on any of my rosters. I don't like to have Gronk on my team. He's injured every year. He's an elite player. I think he's a better actual tight end in the NFL right now at this point in his career than he is a fantasy asset.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. But for me, the guy that I want to have on my roster is absolutely Austin Hooper.
Okay.
I think Hooper's
you do
production
have
just continues to get better. O.J. Howard looks like he's finally putting it together.
Yeah.
I like him better than Njoku, and I like Njoku a lot last season.
Right.
So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, it's pretty downhill. So I think Kittle should be probably top 5.
Kittle's my top 3. Wow. Top 3 tight end.
And he's scoring that way. He's actually the tight end 3 right now.
That's where I've got him. And he was a guy that I was saying, get him late. You can get this guy late and he'll perform. I didn't expect this performance, but I did expect him to be a high-quality guy. I just don't see anybody coming up better.
Kittle in standard without any kind of premium for tight ends, he's had only 2 weeks where he's had single-digit numbers.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive. Your number 1 tight end overall right now is Zach Ertz with 183. Kelsey is tight end 2 with 171. And then George Kittle trails by about 20 points at 147.
Number 4 on this list is shocking to me.
Eric Ebron with 145.
Yeah.
I think that's the most
shocking,
just performance at this point in the season that he is that high.
Yeah.
And it's been week to week.
Yeah.
Just studly.
He's got a 31-point game. He's got a 28-point game.
And then Jared Cook is up there too with 114. I mean, it's a pretty big drop off from 4 to 5.
Yeah.
But you got Cook, Hooper, Howard, Trey Burton, Jimmy Graham, Njoku. That rounds out your last 10.
Yeah.
Your top 10 there. So I mean, it gets pretty ugly pretty quick. I mean, Vance McDonald is ahead of Gronk at this point in the season.
Jordan Reed.
Jesse James is right behind Gronk. So both James and McDonald on that same offense
Ben Watson
have given you Gronk numbers.
That consistent tight end that we heard from.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But it's just Ben Watson had some pretty bad games.
Yeah.
Really bad weeks.
Yeah.
He had 1 point
last week.
He
0
had
points
0
week
and
8.
7. Yeah. So I mean, it's up and down. Up and down. So yeah, I don't know. You think George Kittle is a top 3?
I think George Kittle's dynasty top 3. Yeah. And one name that I think people forget about in tight ends, Evan Ingram, is super low this year. He's a guy that if you can, would you be surprised if Evan Ingram was a top, outside the top 10 startup next year for tight ends?
No. For how ugly tight end is, it wouldn't. I think Evan Ingram's going to be in top 10.
Towards the back.
Well, towards the back, sure, but
okay, Ingram or Hooper.
Give me Hooper.
Ingram or Howard.
Give me Howard.
Ingram or Njoku.
Give me Ingram.
Okay.
Give me Ingram.
So an 8, 9, 10 ish.
Yeah. No, you're right. When you put it like that, Greg Olson's going to be a fun value.
Greg Olson's going to retire.
If he retires, he might not.
Okay, sorry. Let's. We're gonna take a break.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna do Renshaw's Renegades. We're gonna do my wager of the week after a terrible loss, and then we are going to close out the show with a little bit. I think we're gonna talk a little bit about the Scott Fish lineup and how we're doing. We'll be quick, I promise. It'll be like a Band-Aid. So we'll be right back.
All right, recap. Last week's Renegades. Elijah McGuire was owned in 41% of leagues. He's barely over 50% this week. Last week he scored 8.7 fantasy points. I'd call that a win. Big one. This is my big hitter so far in the year. Anthony Miller last week was owned in 47.5% of leagues. Scored 23 points last week. Still only owned in 51% of leagues.
Ooh.
Nuts. That's nuts. That's my biggest hit. Before that was Philip Lindsay with 15 points after being a Renegade. Anthony Miller, my new high scorer. This week, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to go double wide receiver. Same first name, though. And the way we talked earlier in the show, I don't think it's going to be a surprise. We're going to start off with Josh Reynolds. Only good news about Cooper Kupp injury, there's already a blueprint for what the Rams will do without him. In the 2 games Kupp missed earlier this season, Reynolds handled 6 targets, 10% of Jared Goff's attempts. Not good. But he caught 3 passes for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns in those games. It's possible the Rams make a bigger push to get him involved now that Kupp's out for the year. Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods are the trustworthy guys, but add Reynolds and hold and see what's going on. Secondly, this one shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that listened to the first half an hour of the show. Josh Adams is my other Renegade, currently owned in 41% of leagues. He's averaging 6.25 yards per attempt over the last 3 games. He looked like their best option against the Cowboys, and Coach Doug Peterson confirmed the rookie will see more work moving forward following that performance. If the Eagles go out and sign C.J. Anderson, that could put a damper on this, but right now, Adams is the guy to own, and his role should continue to grow in Philly.
I like it.
Those are my guys.
I like it.
Renegades. I wouldn't be surprised if we had another big week to come back from next week. I say that, now they're going to just flop.
Whew.
What do we got? What's your wager of the week?
Oh, you're not going to give me like that. We need the sounder. Hold on.
My bad.
It's the Dynasty Dad's Wager of the Week.
Matt, 16.5 points was just too many for the Chiefs last week. They only won by 12.
I said that.
So the wager of the week is now back to a respectable 5-3, and we're going to look to get back on our winning ways. All right,
Winning ways.
our winning ways.
Dynasty Dad.
So my wager of the week this week is the Colts. They're favored by about 2.5, 2 points depending on where you're looking, at home versus the Titans this week. And I don't have a really full write-up about it. Since we're doing the show on a Tuesday, I didn't really have a lot of time. I had to do all the news and notes myself because I'm the only one that works around here. My back is killing me.
Tuesday. We usually go Wednesdays. You pick Tuesday.
Here's my rationale. The Titans played out of their mind last week, beating the Patriots. They didn't turn over the ball once. And they beat the Cowboys the week before that. It's time to cool down. The Colts are on a 3-game win streak. Luck threw for 10 touchdowns in that streak. The Titans' D is good, but I don't really think it's good enough to slow down the Colts right now. And by the way, Indy is clicking. Past 4 games, they averaged 35.5 points and 407 yards per game. The Colts! Look for the Colts to keep stride and gallop to their 4th win in a row here.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
I'm surprised you didn't make any of those references. I didn't want to cut you off.
If I would have had time, I would have done a lot more horse
I don't want to cut you off. I don't disagree. The Titans came out like they were amped up for the Patriots. And I don't know if you know this, the coaching staff and the general manager, a lot of ex-Patriots in that game. So Deion Lewis came back and said, you get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've seen that.
Should pay me.
I like that a lot.
So
my feeling is, as I'm keeping a really close eye on this game, because if the Titans end up winning this game, the Titans, I think, are legit. If you can beat the Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Colts in a row, I'm scared. I'm scared.
One of those 3 teams is a legit team. The Cowboys are not a legit team. The Colts are not a legit team.
The Cowboys aren't good because of like where they should be and how they are perceived by really the rest of America. But the Cowboys aren't a slouch team. I don't think they're that bad either.
Their defense is better than their offense.
They're very middle of the road.
Yeah, they're 8-8.
But if you can beat them off of a bye, which good.
Yeah, good job.
And then you beat the Patriots, which that's very impressive.
Yep, that's your Super Bowl.
And then you beat a hot offense like the Colts, I'm going to be a believer.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what
like
it
I
takes.
said, I don't hate it.
The Colts have killed these past 3 games, by the way. Killed.
Killed them.
But they've all been really poor opponents. Opponents. Pony. Yeah, pony.
Nice. Okay.
Horses.
Got it.
Let's talk about the Scott Fish lineup.
No. Why?
We don't need to talk about the lineup. Just, you got an update for us? Because I know we're not doing good.
Killed last week. We ran into someone that scored over 200 points, the second highest scorer in our conference division, whatever, the animated Simpsons South Park, what we're at. We are 4-2, 4-2. I wish we were 4-2. 4-6. Not in last place, definitely not in first place. We cannot make the playoffs.
Oh, are we completely mathematically eliminated?
I think we are mathematically eliminated. Actually, you know what? We might not be. The first place team is 9-1. That is @_Ryan Roberts 33. Good job. He's a fan. He's not even an expert or an analyst or anything. But we might have a shot because the second place team is 6-4. So if we go on a run here, but I don't think it's going to happen. We lost our first 2 draft picks. Rodgers isn't Rodgers. Stafford is definitely not Stafford. We just lost Cooper Kupp, Jarvis Landry.
Oh, that killed us. Yeah, Jarvis Landry's starting to come off a strong season. That's starting to trail off. Yeah.
We don't have a tight end.
The Cooper Kupp deal is just going to kill us.
Yeah.
That killed us. So,
we done.
Probably done. We could, if we're lucky, we get into the playoffs, but we're going to probably be bounced pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And if there was trading, this would be a situation where we trade.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, but we can't.
Trade for a spot in next year's Scott Fish Bowl.
There we go. So, Matt, before we wrap up the show, I know we talked about it a little bit here last week. It's week 11.
Mm-hmm.
Most playoffs start week 13 or week 14.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a couple weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody in particular, top of the head, that you're trying to trade away if you're a middle of the road team? You're not going to make the playoffs. You might not make the playoffs. If you do, you think you're going to get bounced. Anybody come to your mind?
Trade away?
Trade away. A piece you can get for the draft. Because I think that's something that we never talk about as analysts. We don't really give people that kind of heads up. Like, for instance, I think Adrian Peterson is a great guy to trade away at this point if you're that team.
Well, we talked about Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders is a good one, too.
Julian Edelman?
Okay. Yeah. Julian
Guy
Edelman.
on offense, a little older. You never know when. Honestly, if you can trade Gronk, I would trade Gronk.
Trade Gronk. I think we mentioned Frank Gore.
Yeah,
Gronk is somebody you can get some good value for at this point.
No, could you? I just
I'd
traded
say so. A late first for Gronk isn't bad.
I traded for Gronk, and I traded a second and Gio.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
think Shady would be a good one coming off that big game.
Yeah. Matt Breida might be a guy.
I don't know if I want to give away Breida.
If you can get what he's going for, because McKinnon is still there. You know what I mean? Like, he could be a guy for a team that is making a run that looks really nice. Maybe they're willing to trade a couple picks.
You know, a couple names that we really haven't talked about at all compared to last year would be D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole, Moncrief. Those guys are all putting up okay numbers, like flex-worthy wide receiver numbers. Yeah. And, I mean, we really haven't talked about them because they've never had big weeks. They've never had really bad weeks. They're just kind of there. Yeah. But I believe they're all over 100 points at this point in the season.
I think, what are your feelings on Ingram? Like, do you trade away Ingram? Do you trade for Ingram?
Mark Ingram?
Yeah, Mark, yeah. I'm probably trading him away.
If I'm that guy, if I'm that middle team, absolutely. Because I don't really see a lot of.
He's 29, going to be 30, free agent. You know, or he's 28, going to be 28. He's towards that 30 threshold for running backs that unless you're Frank Gore, you fall off.
But he's also going to be on a different team next year, right?
He's a free agent. That doesn't mean he's going to be on a different team.
Yeah, I think he will be.
Maybe the Saints franchise tag him because running backs are worth so much money.
On that note, Matt, I think we're going to close out the show. If you enjoyed any part of the show, please subscribe and give us a rating on iTunes. Leave a comment, leave a review.
Check us out.
And then be sure to check us out on Twitter. We are at Dynasty Dads. Give us a follow there and turn on those notifications, homies.
Boom.
Until next week, good luck, everybody, and we are out.
God bless.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter at Dynasty Dads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.